Come on, everybody. You are on the channel for English for Biology majors, which is brought to you by Tsinghua University's Susan Ye. We hope after you learn this class, you will think biology is fun and to read biology book is piece of cake. Let's go, yay! Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn prefix and suffix that related to small things like bacteria, fungus, or some really small worms. But first, we need to review what we learned last time. In the second part of lesson 20, we learned that for old age, we can use gero, G-E-R-O, or geronto, G-E-R-O-N-T-O, or presby, P-R-E-S-B-Y. And we could use archi, A-R-C-H-I, or the suffix geny, G-E-N-Y, for origin. For generation, we could use the suffix G-E-N-Y, like phylogeny. And for self, we use this prefix auto, A-U-T-O. As for one's own or self-produced, we could use this prefix idio, I-D-I-O. For order, we could use the prefix taxo, T-A-X-O. Now let's move to lesson 21. For bacterium, we can use this suffix bacter, B-A-C-T-E-R, or the prefix bacterial, B-A-C-T-E-R-I-O. Our example for bacter is Campylobacter. Campylobacter Jejuni is one of the most common causes of food poisoning in the United States. This bacteria is also known as a species of bacterium that is commonly found in animal feces. It's a helical shape as shown in this picture, non-spore-forming, gram-negative, microaerophilic, non-fermenting, and motile rods with a single polar flagellum. And our example for bacterial is bacterial chlorophyll. Bacterial chlorophyll, as shown in this picture, are photosynthetic pigments that occurred in various phototrophic bacteria. They were discovered by C.B. Van Niel in 1932. They are related to chlorophylls, which are the primary pigments in plants, algae, and cyanobacteria. Groups that contain bacterial chlorophyll conduct photosynthesis, but do not produce oxygen. They use wavelengths of light that are not absorbed by plants or cyanobacteria. For bacillus, we could use B-A-C-I-L-L-O, this suffix, or B-A-C-I-L-L-I. Our example is bacilliferous. Bacilliferous is bearing or carrying bacilli. Bacilli. Bearing or carrying bacilli is called bacilliferous. And for E. coli, we could also use a prefix that's coli, C-O-L-I, to describe things that are related to E. coli. E. coli is a commonly found bacteria. It exists in humans' gut. Our example is colibacillosis. Colibacillosis meaning a disease that is result from an infection with E. coli. The suffix osis meaning disease, which we will learn later in our course. For fungus, we have myco, M-Y-C-O, or myces, M-Y-C-E-S, or myceto, M-Y-C-E-T-O, to use to describe things that are related to fungus. Our example for myco is Mycobacterium. Mycobacterium, like in this picture, showing Mycobacterium Tuberculosis. Mycobacterium is a genus of actinobacteria. The genus including pathogen, like in this picture, Mycobacterium Tuberculosis. It results tuberculosis, and also there's another strain of Mycobacterium result in leprosy. The Greek prefix for myco, which we learn here, meaning fungus. So and bacterium means bacteria. So actually, Mycobacterium means it's describing that the colony of Mycobacterium always grow in a mold-like fashion on the surface of the cultures, but it is not a fungus. And our example for MYCES is Saccharomyces. Saccharomyces, in this picture, what we show is Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Saccharomyces is derived from Latin and Greek, meaning sugar. Remember saccharol, S-A-C-C-H-A-R-O, meaning sugar. And then the suffix myces means mold. So actually the genus name meaning sugar mold. And then cerevisiae is also from Latin, means beer. So Saccharomyces cerevisiae means a fungus that can produce sugar, and it exists in the beer, to make beer. And this is the morphology of Saccharomyces cerevisiae, and this is its colony. Saccharomyces cerevisiae, also commonly known as baker's yeast. It is very useful to produce wine, bread, and beer. Our example for myceto is mycetogenous. Mycetogenous means caused by fungus outgrowth. Like in this picture, the athlete's foot is a mycetogenous disease. Next, for fungal disease or fungal infection, we can use this prefix called mycosis, M-Y-C-O-S-I-S. Our example is coccidioidomycosis. Coccidioidomycosis, commonly known as cocci, C-O-C-C-I, or it also called as San Joaquin Valley fever, California fever, desert rheumatism, or valley fever. It is result by an infection of Coccidioides immitis. It is endemic in certain areas of Arizona, California, Nevada, New Mexico, Texas, Utah, and northern Mexico. For herpes, we could use this prefix H-E-R-P-E-T-O, herpeto. And our example is herpetiform. Herpetiform, remember what we learned for F-O-R-M is shape. So herpetiform meaning things that are resembling herpes, having grooves, vesicles. Here we only show one because I can't find a picture with many vesicles. And the same prefix, herpeto, H-E-R-P-E-T-O, can also be used to describe things that are related to snake. And our example is herpetophobia. Herpetophobia is irrational fear of reptiles and or amphibians. It's called herpetophobia. And for insects, we could use this prefix entomo. Our example is entomobria. Entomobria, as shown in this picture, this bug is called the springtails. Australian species of these kind of bugs can cause irritation by their bite. And for spider, we could use this prefix arachno, A-R-A-C-H-N-O. Our example is arachnodactyly. Arachnodactyly meaning a condition that is characterized by abnormal length and slenderness of the fingers, as shown in this picture. Don't you think this person has really long and slender fingers? And also toes. And sometimes it also called acromacria or spider finger for person with Marfan syndrome. Sometimes the arachnodactyly can be used as a as one of the characteristics for diagnosis. Remember, we learned before for finger, D-A-C-T meaning finger, and dactyly meaning abnormal type of finger. So when we want to call spider finger in medicine, we use this term arachnodactyly because most of the person don't have fingers that are that long and slender. So we consider it a abnormal condition. And for mite, we could use this prefix acaro. Our example is acrodermatitis. Acrodermatitis is any skin inflammation caused by mites. Like there's one type of acrodermatitis called grain itch, because when we harvest grains like wheat, rice, barley, the shell of those grains have tiny mites, and when we harvest those grains, the mites will get all over the place, and also get on the person who did the harvesting, and sometimes the mite can fly, can spread really far. There's this news that happened in Taichung. One of the young girl, her family's house is close to a factory that is processing grain, and every time when the factory receive many many parcels of grains and start processing it, she would itching all over, and it gets so severe that she can't sleep, and her family was troubled, and they went to see the doctor, and doctor found it's actually a acrodermatitis. So they complained to the factory, and the factory said they would get better facilities to reduce the spread of the mites. For worm, we could use this prefix scoleco. Our example is scolecoid. Scolecoid, remember the suffix oid meaning similar, like. So actually scolecoid meaning resembling a worm. And for tapeworm, one kind of parasite, we have this prefix taenia. Our example is teniacide. Teniacide is something that can destruct the tapeworms. It's either an agent or anything that can destruct the tapeworms. And in this picture, the structure here is is one kind of teniacide. Now we finish lesson 21. Let's review what we learned this time. For bacterium, we could use the suffix bacter, B-A-C-T-E-R, or the prefix bacterio, B-A-C-T-E-R-I-O. For bacillus, we could use B-A-C-I-L-L-O or B-A-C-I-L-L-I, these two prefixes. And for E. coli, we could use this prefix coli, C-O-L-I. For fungus, we could use these two prefixes myco, M-Y-C-O, or myceto, M-Y-C-E-T-O, or the suffix myces, M-Y-C-E-S. And for fungal disease or fungal infection, we could use this suffix mycosis, M-Y-C-O-S-I-S. For herpes, we could use this prefix herpeto, H-E-R-P-E-T-O. The same prefix can also be used for snake. And for insect, we could use this prefix E-N-T-O-M-O. For spider, we could use the prefix arachno, A-R-A-C-H-N-O. And for mite, we could use A-C-A-R-O. For worm, we could use S-C-O-L-E-C-O. As for tapeworm, we can use this prefix taenia, T-A-E-N-I-A. Now we finish lesson 21. Next time when we come back, we'll start with lesson 22, and we will also give you the quiz for lesson 21 this time. See ya! English for Biology Major is brought to you by TCU's English for Biology Major course team. If you have any questions, don't forget to visit our FB fans page. The website is here, and you can also scan the QR code to reach to our FB fans page. This course is sponsored by Centers for Faculty Development and Instructional Resources of TCU.